It's not what happens to you that matters the most, but how you respond to it that makes you either successful or not successful. And that's what we're talking about today in this short video right here. And the reason that's going to be short is because all of us really know this, but we kind of need to be reminded about it from time to time of our life, of our busy lives, of everything that's going on around us, to be reminded that we have to take responsibility for every situation that we're involved in, because we have the ability in every situation to take control and to be the one that leads the situation to happen as we see it to be. So whether it happens the way that we want it to or that we don't, either way, we have to make a decision as to say, I will learn from this or I will be victimized by this. So therefore, you're telling the universe, either give me the next lesson for the next next part of my growth, or let's repeat this again somewhere down the road until I get out of my own way and learn how to be bigger bigger in the solution than the size I was when the problem or the challenge or that situation arose too. So let's go ahead and get started with it. The first mantra of this, or the first thought process of this, is life is simply 80-20. And for a lot of people, as they get higher up in life as far as wealth, celebrity, fame, or just really being their true selves without any fault or without any unapologetically speaking, a lot of them will say life is rather 90-10 or 95-5. Hell, I've even heard one person say life is 99-1. 99% of what happens, 1% of what happens to you, and 99% of how you respond to it. And when you give yourself such a massive margin of responsibility, what else can you do besides to button up, stick your chest out back, back strong, and look at the situation and say, this is mine to have, this is mine to learn from, this is mine to control, so that it can get me further to where I am desiring to go anyway. And that's what you ought to do for every situation, whether it's a relationship, an interaction with just a brief interaction with someone, or if it's you performing something in order to get to a certain place in your life. You have to put yourself in that captain's seat to say, this is mine to have. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it. And that's how the winners are made. That's how the greatness is brought out of us. If we don't come to accept one thing that happens to us in our life, then we contradict ourselves on everything else that's good, that we perceive it as good to be good and good being for us. That's what we perceive it to be. So we cannot halfway feel like, hey, I take responsibility for this, and then I give the rest of this to life to take care of until I feel like I am ready to be responsible for that, or I feel like it is in my favor. For someone like me, everything is in my favor. Unapologetically, uncompromised, it is in my favor. It has to be. Because I don't have time to waste in my life. When you realize that time is your most precious currency, that's why when people ask me, what do you desire the most in life, Nick, I always give them the same answer consistently: time freedom. Because that is the foundation behind all wealth that is created. If I had the time to do it, then that simply translates to I have enough wealth, I have enough financial security, and I have enough resources to do what I want, when I want, how often I want, and to loop myself around to continue to create unlimited time freedom for myself. So that's why I always go all the way to the end, and then I work my way back as to say, this is how I get here from where I end up at, which is with that time freedom. And that's why I want you to really think about too, is to consider your focus to be something that's a bit more abstract rather than something that's more concrete. Because what happens is that as it becomes concrete, as it becomes a sense of reality to you, your brain has already solved it. So therefore, there's nothing to work towards. And then when you start working towards something that's repetitive, that's not really yielding the results that you want it to, now your brain starts taking you into a loop of procrastination. Maybe I'll do this another time. Maybe I'll do this later. So we don't want to put ourselves in that situation and not take full responsibility for everything and take full responsibility for our desires and our goals and our focus. We want to take it all in as something that says, it was on me, it's my fault, or it was me, it was all me, I did that. So we want to take it either way, and as I said in other videos, how a situation is portrayed or perceived by us in our minds is determined by our emotional pull towards it, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral. So and that in turn kind of gives you a certainty of inevitability that this was going to happen anyway. So I just have to now say to myself, does it work for me or does it work against me? Is it for me or is it not for me? I'm saying everything's for me. I'm just going to find a way for it to work out because it already happened anyway. So therefore, you have to already accept that it happened. It's not going to happen again unless you see it to be. But if it's going to happen a different way, at least take responsibility for it, so you can put more of yourself into it to mold it the way that you want it to. And I promise you, when you start to take more responsibility for yourself, and you start to take more responsibility for that which everything that happens to you, you seem to really gain more third eye vision into the future, into your life, into finding your real gift, into finding and attracting the best life that's waiting on you to get out of your own way anyway. And for the next part of that, which I probably already spoken about, is respond to your reaction. You know, as you can see, I've read about this, and I just get so passionate about these things because this is everything that I'm going through every day. This is everything that I'm learning and experiencing every day. And it is my God-given duty to deliver that to you so that you can notice it in your life and you can experience it as well, so that you can have and yield the same success and more progress and momentum that I am as well. And for this, responding to your reaction is very critical because it gives you awareness. It tells yourself to be aware of everything and conscious of everything that happens to you, so that life doesn't become a dream, but life becomes a reality that sets forth the stone foundation of which your true life, your best life, your desired life can now sit on. Otherwise, your life becomes something on a grain of sand, and it becomes quicksand. It becomes something you have to fight through each and every day in order just to get back to where you already were. But you have to respond to it with the right attitude, with the right mindset, and the right mantra as to saying, this is on me, so I'm going to see it to be as I want it to anyway. When you see it to be, when you put that in your peripheral and when you put that into your hindsight, there's nothing that can stop you. Rather, everything that comes in my way helps me. There are building blocks, so I can get higher and higher, so that those things before won't become of a hindrance, but rather of a constructive growth for me. It's just like building a house with 2 stories, 3 stories, 10 stories. Now it becomes a building. Now it becomes a skyscraper. Now it becomes, now that becomes something of a wonder, a miracle of the world. All right? And that's how you want your life to be for others, so that you can be the best for them, just like you're being the best for yourself. The next process here is to focus and create the highest potential reaction. And what that means simply is, for everything that happens, we have several perspectives that we can take our acceptance of that situation into. We can say it could be worse. We could say that this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. Or we can turn the other cheek and say, this is the best thing that could have happened for this situation. Now, granted, like everything that we deal with, there's always an exception to the rule. So don't be that individual that goes down in my comment box or in my posts or whatever and mentions that based on some most recent situation or something that has happened, because I'm saying this as a disclosure to you. There's always an exception to the rule, and those are some things that just goes beyond logical reality. And we have to still accept that as something that is divine, something that is beyond our reach of understanding, because we are not meant to understand it, but we are meant to learn from it and meant to move forward from it, because it still is a lesson from that which we do not understand, or that which we do not really have exact control on. And that's what you do with every situation that happens to you, is that you see yourself, you see without ignorance that yes, this situation could have been worse, or this possibly may have been a worse thing that could have happened for this scenario, but I am not going to allow that to be my reality, because I do not have time to waste time on being negative, on being sad, on being miserable, but rather let me learn, let me be great, let me grow, and let me prevent this from being something that I don't want it to be later, so that I can focus on it becoming something that I desire for it to be. And when you get that mindset, now the world literally is your oyster. The world literally is in your hands, and your fingers are the controllers. And that's when you allow yourself to be powerful. That's what all this whole video is about. Allowing yourself to be powerful. But that's not really a sexy phrase, is it? It's not really a sexy title. But that's really the purpose of this entire video. Allow yourself to be that light. Because, as it says, I am God. God is me. God is energy. I am energy. God is love. I am love. And that powerful statement, that powerful haiku, if you will, is the center point of your life. That power is positive power. Power isn't negative, just like wealth isn't negative. Money, a lot of money isn't the root of all evil. No, the lack of that and the lack of those things is the root of all evil. To play the victim, to be the follower because you want to take it safe. When it's all said and done, and the more safe you try to take something, or the more victimized that you feel about something, you're still going to go through it anyway. So why not get something from it? Be a better person than you already are. Yell at yourself. Talk to yourself. And tell yourself, I am better than this. I am stronger than this. I am more powerful than this. Follow success and then strive to be better than that part of success. You don't want to be this particular individual. You want to be better than them, because you want to be a better version of yourself. And you want to be better than what this moment says it is. And then when you learn to accept that, now life has a new meaning, has a new set of eyes. It has a new set of ears and fingers, and all your senses are now renewed. Your body is renewed. Your spirit is renewed. Now you can get to work on life. And that shift can start to really shift. And that's when the center is now you. Instead of you chasing it, you have now become it. So therefore, you now have to create that which you've been desiring the most. And the next card here is life's lesson, which is all based on growth, which is what we just talked about anyway. Everything that happens to us is a lesson of growth. That's it. That's what life does for us anyway. Life is the test before the lesson. And when you know that pattern is going to come about, you have to take it upon yourself to take what you already know in order to create and have what you don't have yet. And that's what life is. That's what life does. You use the resourcefulness and the resources that you already have accumulated. You just have to really think in a positive manner, how can these be of value to me? And then use what you already have to get what you don't want, what you don't have yet. Use what you already have to get what you don't have so that you can be put in a higher position to rinse and repeat that process. That's what it's all about. Once you learn the system, you scale it, and you leave it alone. Okay? You tweak it because change is inevitable, but the core of it, and you can look into any business, you can look into any success story out there. They all have a core system of morals, of beliefs, of rituals, of operations that they follow each and every day to the letter that keeps them on a focused path towards expanding the value of their God-given gift. And that's where you want to get to. Listen to these videos over and over. Hear my words, transcribe my words, and really take in what is being taught to you. Don't just listen to it arbitrarily, because then you'll leave and you'll miss something valuable. Listen and feel it and learn it and do it. And then you'll start to see that the growth is there. I'm hearing you a different way now, Nick. I'm starting to listen. I'm starting to learn this a little bit more because you're saying it a lot in all the videos. Now I see what you're saying. Now I'm starting to do it. Now things are starting to happen. So on and so forth. And that's what all these systems and success stories in life, these celebrities and role models that we see have all done. They found something, they stuck with it, and then they started working once, and then they just found a way to make it work a million times over. And that's the end of the story. That's it. All right? And as always, for our bonus here, note in the middle is, for everything that happens in your life, you're either going to learn it or you're going to repeat it. It's just that simple. If I'm going to repeat something, I'd rather repeat it with a better mind so that I can conquer it again, so that it can help me grow. Not something that can help me feel worse than I did the first time that I dealt with it. And sometimes, and you're going to have to go through that. I'm reminded when I finally got out of my own way to focus on, okay, I work 9 hours a day, and then when I get home from work, I had maybe 5 or 6 hours to get all my work done for my business so that I can have a foundation to grow on the next day. So I had less time than I did at the job that I didn't want to be at to build a business that's going to take care of me for the rest of my life, that was going to bring me to this point that I am now with you all. And I had to figure out, what was the lesson there? How do I do this? And the lesson for me was that now you don't need all of that time to be productive. In fact, the more productive you are, the less time it's going to take anyway. So what happens is that now what used to take 6 hours to do, now I've learned to make it take only 3 hours. So now I have 3 hours left of extra time, and I was starting to get it. And then I was starting to try to, and I was doing it so well, and I was starting to profit, and I was starting to see a change in my business with the income and with the growth of it and with the branding, that things were starting to happen. And now I had this extra time on my hands, so now I had to figure out, how do I occupy it? I didn't just want to play video games, or if I had a relationship at the time, I didn't really, I could have spent time with the individual, but I wanted to be productive. I wanted to keep going. And I had to find a way to really make more of that time. So then, now leads to maybe another income stream that I can work on for another 3 hours. So now I'm scaling out that system that works. And now things are starting to happen. Now for that system that maybe take 2 3 hours to do, I may be able to do it in 1.5. So now I still have 1.5 hours of time. And you know, I just use that to just whatever, just relax, sit back, meditate on the greatness that I've created, and rinse and repeat the whole process again. And that's what I've come to do. That's kind of what my schedule was when I was working for someone and being in a position to have to build my business the way it was. But now I'm here with you guys, and I'm building videos for you all daily and weekly, and I'm helping you all grow to find yourselves, to find your niche, to find your God-given gift, so that your best life can come to you just like it's coming to me. And, you know, we're going to grow and do this together. Okay? This is Nick Billions bringing you another great video from Mills Life and Business Consulting. And as always, I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And as always, if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because you never know when we're going to put another video out. But when we do, you need to be the first in the know to watch it and to learn from it, so that you can be the first one to gain from it as well. Leave a like, and a thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, be honest with me, because I'm always honest with you in these videos here. Leave a comment, let's have a dialogue, let's see what's good, what's bad, what's helping you, what's not helping you, and we'll be able to get together and to really, you know, figure these things out, and maybe even make that subject matter a video for others to learn from and for others to grow from as well. So until the next time, remember, find your gift, and your best life will find you. Nick Billions signing off. I'll talk to you soon.